Hi, it's April, checking in once again. I wanted to share a few thoughts about the influence of women. Now, I guess anything that I say about it, your mind could make it a positive or a negative thing, but I'm going to stay neutral on this and just give my observation. When a woman speaks into the ear and heart of a man, the effect depends on her relationship with that man. When a woman has slept with a man, or is actively sleeping with him, especially if she is the legal wife of that man, she directly can affect what that man says, does, and thinks afterward. Now, women don't always purposely use that power. A lot of times people just speak from their heart, and then things get affected. Sort of like, I may not have deliberately meant to make a huge amount of ripples when I threw the stone. I just sort of wanted to see and hear the sound it made when I threw it, right? But it might make more ripples than I intended and go further out than I intended. Or I might accidentally hit a fish with that rock. I didn't know that when I threw it. In the same way, women can have big effects by speaking into the ear and heart of a man she is connected to physically or on a soul and spirit level. There is a consequence from a man who belongs to God not guarding himself from saying, speaking, and acting on words from the woman he's connected with that don't match the will and purposes of the Most High God. Because while she is speaking through you, you are taking the hit as the head of the family, even if the family is not an official family. Even if you just have a soul tie with this woman because you're her best friend or something, as a male, you're gonna take the hit first. Even though she's speaking through you, you take the hit. The spiritual hit, the physical hit first. And so in that way, the male has to be responsible and on guard to discern whether what the women around him are speaking matches the will and purposes of God. And here's where it gets tricky. God's thoughts are higher than our thoughts. His ways are higher than our ways. So sometimes what God is doing, what God is on, as we call it in Chicago, what God is on is way higher than what our thoughts allow and permit. Sometimes we don't understand what he's doing until later. Okay? He has a playbook we haven't seen yet. He only releases certain amounts of information in small increments to different prophets. And those prophets have to put all those pieces together to even get a partial picture of the very near future of God's playbook. So no, we don't know. We know in part and we prophesy in part. It is written. Okay? So you have to really, as a man of God, be listening, hearing, in communing with the Most High God on a regular basis to discern whether you should be repeating, soaking in what's being said to you by the women around you. And the consequences of not doing that, the consequences of just repeating what's being spoken into you by a woman who is, I don't know, angry, jealous, threatened, just I don't know, on a negative wavelength, you're going to get the consequences from what she is thinking. You're going to get the consequences from what she's trying to do through you, because you're allowing yourself to be a vessel for it. So unfortunately, you can refuse to hear this word, but you'll see this word in action. Okay? Even people who don't even get a chance to listen to this word, it will be in action. So it's actually a gift of God if you happen to run across this word and understand and know beforehand, or even afterwards, so that you can avoid future pain, how this happened to you. Okay, I love you guys. I will talk to you later in the next message. Bye.